So, House of Lords Act from 2026, what is the change about, Ollie?
The biggest change is the removal of the remaining 92 hereditary peerages. So I'll explain the basics of where this sits within the English legal system. Our legislature in the UK is bicameral. So we have two houses. We have the House of Commons and House of Lords. And there's sort of a bit of ping pong that goes on between the two as part of the legislative process. It bounces between the two houses. So the House of Lords does still play a very significant role in the creation of legislation. What people have been unhappy with, certainly for the past 50, 60 years, if not longer, is that there were a lot of hereditary lords in the House of Lords who were able to influence legislation. They were not there based on any kind of merit or political position, anything like that. They were just there because their father was a lord, or their father's father was a lord, and it was this hereditary line, which is no longer seen as being a good enough basis for these kind of positions. So in 1999, the Blair government had this House of Lords Act that removed actually about 600 hereditary peers and left 92 exempt hereditary peers who would be able to pass on their seat in the House of Lords to their offspring. Now, this House of Lords Hereditary Peers Act gets rid of those remaining 92 hereditary peers. 26 of those have had their hereditary peerages converted into life peerages. So those people for their lifetime will have a seat in the House of Lords. But when they die, that seat is not something that can be passed on to their offspring. We need to draw a bit of a distinction here as well in saying that their titles will pass. The son of a lord will also be a lord, but they will not have the right to sit, speak, or vote in the House of Lords. Another point as well, there are certain ceremonial positions. There's two, the Earl Marshal and the Lord Great Chamberlain, who is the individual who has the responsibility of basically reporting on what happens in the House of Lords to the monarch. They will still sit in the House of Lords, but again, they don't have these powers to vote on things that happen in the House of Lords. So it's quite an interesting development, but it certainly seems fair. Now the people who are going to be sitting in the House of Lords are not there based on birth, but rather will be there based on some kind of merit. Weirdly as well, actually, I'll just mention there are 26 lords in the House of Lords who are spiritual lords, who are bishops of the Church of England. There is no change in relation to them.
Okay. So spiritual or
yeah. Although their positions are not hereditary, they don't pass on to their offspring. They pass on to the next person who assumes their role, their successor.
Yeah, but they can have children.
I don't know, actually. I don't know about the Church of England. I think so. I think they can. But they're all actually, interestingly, to retire by age 70 anyway. And when they retire, the position in the Lords will pass on to whoever assumes that position after them. So it's not hereditary anyway.
Perfect. Let me add a few more people. Unlikely it would be something on what you will be tested in SQE1 and especially SQE2. I mean, as to bishops, but as to peers. So make sure you cover that. But this is about, so we are setting SQE1 in January.